Hello everybody, Mr. Played Out the Game here, and today we're gonna be talking about Splatoon 3. As y'all know, recently the Splatoon 3 had their beta yesterday, and what I had to say about it, that it was kind of more Splatoon. Really, like Splatoon 3 really ain't nothing special. Basically, more Splatoon. If you love Splatoon 1, Splatoon 2, you will love Splatoon 3. Basically, one of those situations where if you love the previous two games, you will love this one. Because Splatoon 3 don't really change nothing about the Splatoon formula. So before I get into it, let me give my experience with the beta. For one thing, I can kind of say about Splatoon 3, I can say when it comes to connection, it's just my experience with Splatoon 3. I feel like the connection is a little bit more stable than the first two Splatoon, especially Splatoon 2. I don't know, I just feel like the connection is just more stable in Splatoon 3 than in Splatoon 1 and 2. Another thing I can say about Splatoon 3 is that I like how they kind of changed the aesthetic. Like, I like how now they got like medals. In the previous Splatoons, you really didn't earn medal. Like, if you got the most kills, they didn't really say that you had the most kills and stuff like that. And they really never reward you for actually trying to play objective. Now in Splatoon 3, they got medals where if you killed the more enemies or eat the more turf or play the objective a little more longer, it gives you medals now. So kind of like trying to take like a page from Overwatch book, where if you stay on the objective longer or you get the most eliminations, you will earn a little medal at the end of the match, which I think is kind of cool. It's good. It's cool incentive to play a little bit better and try to get many medals as you can. I believe you can like earn up to 3 medals. So I believe that is a cool addition to Splatoon 3. Really not anything special. It basically an incentive to actually do better at the game, which ain't nothing wrong with that in my opinion. Okay, the second one, let's discuss the weapons of Splatoon 3. Splatoon 3 weapons, to me, it basically Splatoon 1 and 2 weapons, but just a little more updated. And they do got like more. They do got like 2 more weapon categories we got to play in the beta, which was the bow and arrow in the some kind of like katana weapon. We like a roller, but it's still just doing what a roller normally does. It kind of like a katana, where the main objective you gotta play like a reaper character or something. Like, I don't know how to describe the katana. It's more like a flank. Think Reaper from Overwatch, basically. Like, the whole purpose of the katana is basically to play like a flanky character. Because when it comes to katana getting killed like up straight, like on the front line, it's the most useless piece of garbage you ever use in the game. Because the katana just don't do enough, you ask me. Like, especially in Turf War with the whole game mode, it basically eat the most turf. I don't really think that's gonna be the most ideal mode to use this weapon in, but I feel like when more competitive game mode like Control Tower, Splat Zone, like game modes like that, when they start coming out, I feel like them that weapon gonna get the most use out of it. Because the Splat Katana really ain't the best weapon to use like in Turf War and shit, because it don't put out enough ink output is horrible. And they got the bow and arrow. Like, I'll be honest, when it comes to Splatoon, in any first-person shooter game, in any shooter game for that matter, I suck at sniping. I'm a terrible sniper. I'm decent at assault rifles and shotgun shit like that. But when you give me a sniper and like in a any shooter game, it doesn't matter. I fucking suck at sniping. I'm not a good sniper, so the bow and arrow really ain't a good weapon for me to use. But I feel like if you get the right person to use it, I feel like the bow and arrow can be a powerhouse of a weapon. And also, Splatoon 3 got some new ultimates as well. One thing about Splatoon 3 ultimates is that you got one ultimate that is basically, if you use it right, you can get like a bunch of kills. It's like this. It's like, you know how the Ink Slam, I think with the Ink Slam for like Splatoon 1, Splatoon 2, where your Inkling will actually goes up in the air and just splash down on him with a huge EOE damage. It basically that, but instead of this, you ride some kind of short looking thing, and it just do the same thing. It make a huge AoE attack, and whoever get caught in the path or get caught in the AoE attack will die instantly, basically. So I think that's a cool special. Oh, got a special where it actually increased the team mobility and firepower for a short duration. I think that was a cool util load. Like, think about that. Instead of just benefiting yourself, you can benefit your whole team. So I think they're gonna be a real good ult when it comes to like competitive game modes like control tower, splat zones, and all that other stuff. I feel like that ult mostly gonna be best used at. Now let's get to the graphics. Splatoon 3 and Splatoon 2, you really can't tell the two games apart. Like if they were like the same map, if I put like the same maps and stuff, you really couldn't tell the games apart because Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3 basically running off the same engine. So the graphics look exactly the same. So basically Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3 graphic wise are not distinguishable from each other. I'm pretty sure they run off the same engine as well. So you can tell that the game is kind of like a copy and paste somewhat of the Splatoon 2, because I think Splatoon 2 is like one of the best Splatoons ever. Now Splatoon 1 was decent. I think Splatoon 1 is still a good game to this day. It got hackers now, I believe, like borderline unplayable. I think you can't even play the game because Nintendo pulled the server from it. Which is sad because the original Splatoon is still a good game, I believe. Like, it's still a decent game to play. But Splatoon 2 kind of took over that territory, which I believe Splatoon 2 is still a good game. But I feel like Splatoon 1 had like the better ultimates and stuff. I think Splatoon 1 just had a lot of old power shit, then Splatoon 2 kind of toned it down a little bit. That one thing I love about Splatoon 1, even though the game you had like a lot of old power weaponry, I believe that would made the game fun. Splatoon 2 also fun, but I believe they toned down without like, the overpowered ultimates and stuff. I believe they got rid of some ultimates. So I think Splatoon 3 is gonna be like the same as Splatoon 2, especially graphic wise, because you really can't tell. Now the stages, everyone got a whole lot to say about the stages. The stages are basically fine. I can't remember half the stage I played in the beta because they were just so generic, and I didn't even play the beta for that long. Because the beta to me was just Splatoon 2 basically. Like, plus I had other obligation to do on Saturday, so I really couldn't really sit down and play the whole beta for an entire day and really get to know the maps. But the maps are decent for the most part. There was like one map I played in beta where at a certain part of the match, the water level either rise or lower down, which I think is a very cool idea. Like, halfway through the match, the dynamic of the map just changes and you gotta adapt to it, which I think that's a cool gimmick for a game like this, so it can keep matches fresh, and so you won't be just on the same elevation the entire game. And that basically my experience with Splatoon 3. I think Splatoon 3 is a decent game for the most part. I don't think Splatoon 3 is gonna be another copy and paste. I believe they're gonna have some differences. One thing I'm really kind of looking forward to, I want to see what they're gonna do with the campaign and stuff in this game, because I played the first campaign and I played Splatoon 2 campaign, and plus I even bought the auto expansion for Splatoon 2 one time. So I really can't see can't see how the story gonna continue in the Splatoon world. Sorry for not having no gameplay because I don't got no Nintendo Switch capture card, so I really couldn't record the game like I wanted to. Like, I really want to show visual proof of the game, even though I did play it. If you still need proof that I actually played the game, here's a picture. Like, I downloaded and played it. So anyway, it's been Mr. Play Doctor, just giving my thoughts and opinion on Splatoon 3. Sorry for not posting up a long time. It's just been nothing to talk about really. Internet have been boring. There like no news stories out there. So yeah, I just want to give my opinion on Splatoon 3 and what I thought about it. So anyway, I hope y'all have a good one. Y'all have a nice Sunday when I'm recording this. It probably gonna go up Monday, but y'all have a good Sunday, I guess, or Monday too. See y'all next time. Peace.